The first portion of group insurance materials dealt with the basics of group benefit plans. We provided a number of definitions and concepts that are part of group coverage, and also explored groups that are eligible for coverage. In addition, you learned how the coordination of benefits provision works and prevents over-insurance in a group environment. We talked about the different groups eligible for coverage, with the most common sponsors being employers. Underwriting factors that come into play when an insurer is considering an application were discussed, and how enrollment periods might affect a person's desire for coverage. If a group sponsor changes group insurance companies, the insureds are protected through the continuation of coverage and the no loss, no gain statutes. The final part of the section worked with advertising and disclosure mandates in group coverage, and not surprisingly, the rules are essentially the same as for individual policies. Next, we'll move on to our last section on group insurance. As you've seen, group insurance can be issued to many different types of groups, but the commonality is that they cover groups of similar types of individuals. In this next part of the lesson, we're going to take a look at some of the other but equally important aspects of group insurance. We'll discuss eligibility for coverage and the waiting periods an employee must go through before they're eligible for coverage. We'll see that an employee's coverage can extend to a spouse and dependents, and we'll learn that the spouses and other dependents have to wait just like the employee to be eligible for coverage. That's where open enrollment periods come into play. Laws have been changed throughout the country in terms of who is considered a couple, and Florida has expanded the definition to include almost any type of relationship. We'll take a good look at the Federal Consolidated Omnibus Reconciliation Act, or COBRA. This is an important aspect of group insurance. It provides for a continuation of group coverage in the event an employee loses their job through other than gross or willful misconduct. Pay close attention to premium requirements, which can be very expensive. You'll learn that COBRA does not apply to all employers, and see how large an employer must be to be eligible for COBRA continuation. We'll also study continuation periods or lengths of continuation coverage, which vary based on what's called a qualifying event. We'll conclude this part of the lesson with a short review of the Employee Retirement and Income Security Act, or ERISA.